Hello tribe, welcome back to my channel. So thank you for you guys being understanding and patient with me when I'm juggling, especially lately, a lot of things. So I had a couple of celebrations to attend during this weekend, and I'm still working on my schedule, when to take a complete full day off. You know how difficult it is when you're working for yourself. You lose track on when you had a day off, when it's working day. So I'm working on it, and this weekend especially I've done 7 to 10 day prediction for Patreons, and when I finished I was like, oh, I feel like I don't have any battery left, and I had things to do as well, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do this reading when I'm feeling like I don't have enough to offer. So we are one day late. I hope your weekend has been great, and today we're choosing from decks. So let me take you down. Deck number 1 is on your left. Deck number 4 is on your right. So we're starting with the Game of Thrones Tarot. Then we have Texture Tarot, Triple Goddess Tarot, and vice versa. Okay? So stop the video if you need some more time, and I'm gonna catch you in timestamps. Hey tribe, whoever has chosen pile number 1. Let's see what is up with you the next week and a half. Whoever has chosen the Game of Thrones deck. Okay, so this is gonna be our main deck, but what we're gonna do first, I'm going to be looking at your next week's energy, and for that I actually want the healing deck. I haven't used it for a while. Let's do that. The Healing Light Tarot. Okay. Straight away what I'm noticing, I'm getting a vision of a child. So either you are working on your inner child, or the light for some of you within. Curiosity, being curious, or maybe connecting to your own children. It's quite important. I'm hearing, don't forget how to have fun for some of you in whatever you do here, especially when it comes to work. Quality time. My throat chakra is acting weird here as well. Maybe some of you are working on it, or you will be. We're starting with the World. And if you closely look at this woman over here, she's very playful in this World card. She's playful, she's very connected, and I think maybe that's why I wanted to talk about this inner child and having fun. For some of you, dancing, connecting your soul to your body. Then we have Queen of Cups. I'm gonna pull one more card. There is a connection to water here for some of you. For others of you, forest. It's very prominent. Maybe these are the places for you where you feel rejuvenated. And you have the 5 of Pentacles. Let's see the bottom of the deck, what we have over there. You have the Page of Swords. So this is that childlike energy. Pages are children, pages are interns, pages are messengers. Communication is quite important for you now, as well as the next coming week or so, whenever you're coming across this video. What I'm paying attention to the most is this wave over here. And a little star. What that talks to me about, it's almost like for you guys, you're probably feeling that intuitively, that something is coming. It might come with a bang for you. It's almost like I'm getting this intense period of time after which, like hard work. After hard work, you're able to reach the star, which is a wish. And for a lot of you, especially if you feel like you don't have enough, or you're lacking something, it's saying, let's work towards that. Let's work towards your goal. Even if You don't know exactly what's the next step you need to take. It's saying pages are learning, pages are keen to learn. Right now is a learning stage for you. I'd say for a lot of you, you might be asked to learn new things. You might be drawn to learning new things the next week, week and a half. Research, curiosity. Maybe I'm gonna walk in that church and see what's there instead of walking outside of it. You have access to it. It's saying you're searching for better ways. It's almost like I'm hearing, I'm gonna stop working hard, I'm gonna work smarter. There's also some kind of chapter, a cycle that is finishing here for you. But it seems like you are the one who's finishing it. I'm seeing you wrapping up a box. What are you gonna be happy about the next week, week and a half? The sun. Yeah, we're talking about happiness, aren't we? What are you gonna be? Okay, that card wants to come out. The Wheel of Fortune. This is awesome. A big shift of events are happening here in the next week, week and a half. Definitely. Let's see, what is that connected to? Where will you notice this happiness and this fortune? Okay, collaborations, communication with people around you. It's all about connections with others. So it could be your colleagues, or it could be people that you somehow working with, or people that you decide to communicate with. So very blessed connections. Maybe tribe members are coming in your life. Maybe you recognize how special certain connections are. And also for some of you, the next week, week and a half, expect new people in your life. Expect new communication and connections. But I feel like for most of you, that person is somehow already present in your life. And you might, someone, would it be you or them, might inspire one another. Really blessed gatherings, really, especially if that gathering has like a higher purpose. Okay, we're gonna work on this project, we're gonna sort this out. That's what we came here to do. So really, really blessed gatherings. It's like it's blessed by above, and whoever is working in a team, it feels like work is going to be going great. Let me have a sip of a drink. Let's continue. Tell me more about this. It's saying share skills with one another. It's going to be great. Great, great, great. Two of Coins. You're busy, you're juggling a couple of things, I'm seeing. You're juggling a couple of things and you're very motivated though the next week, week and a half. You're like, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to learn that. I'm excited for the future. I'm listening to my gut. I'm listening to what my emotions are telling me. And I'm finding ways how to feel like I am more connected. I'm hearing alone but not lonely. So I don't know what it means for all of you. It's definitely not for all of you here, right? But alone but not lonely. It's quite important here. Queen of Swords. You're very good at demanding the next week, week and a half, what it is that you want. What is your vision? What is your idea? Would it be from yourself? Would it be from other people? And with that energy, you're bringing in quite a lot of opportunities, and those opportunities come from other people. Again, joining forces, connecting to one another. I also want to say for some of you, there is someone the next week that you are connecting with who has a lot of love to give. And maybe sometimes you have strong leadership skills. You tend to be, very practical, very straight to the point. No bullshit type of person. And I'm seeing this, swap of energies. Someone who is quite different from you, they bringing in that quality in order to balance both of you out. And you bring in your energy. And it's like a really nice unity. Would it be work relationships? Would it be romantic? Okay, there's a lot to say. Hey, Tarot, I want this card. Page of Swords, communication, emails. Someone might be overwhelmed by emails I'm seeing here. But you're gonna cope with it. Like, you're good at that. You're good at communication. Especially those who were not before, you're getting much better at that. Much better at asking what you want. Knight of Spears. A lot of people coming your way. So maybe you might get overwhelmed a bit with attention, or people wanting your services, needing your advice, needing your attention. The Star, and here's that star that I've noticed in that wave over there, and it's like you are waiting for something to happen, and you know that whatever this is intuitively, it's almost like it's gonna wash away everything what was and bring in the new. But that goal and that wish of some sort has been there for a while. Even the Empress in this deck, look, she's waiting for something. A ship, a person who's in a ship, right? She's waiting. And she's like, yes, I can see it coming. I can see it coming my way. This is amazing. Let's see. You really want to fight for something that you truly hold close to your heart. You're in a warrior mode the next week and a half. Yeah. I'm keeping it, I'm hearing. I'm keeping this. This is mine. This belongs to me. And I'm going to fight for it. Yeah, look. This guy is pulling out the sword. He's like, come at me. I'm hearing play fairly. Number 7 might be important for you. Some of this won't make sense to you now. It will make more sense the next week and a half. You're literally like fighting off some kind of energy that doesn't belong in your life. You're like, listen, I don't like this shadiness. I don't like this energy that is within me. Or I feel like there's something unseen about it and I need to work and sort it out. I need to feel like this is not holding me back anymore, that it's not causing any troubles for me. And that's when I can look at that clear horizon then. That's when I'm going to be waiting for that goal, for that next good thing to come in. So it's almost like before something really important and very blessed happens for you, you first of all cut in some kind of BS here. Or energy that doesn't belong in your energy field. Something that feels like, oh, I feel like it's mine, but is it? Why am I feeling this way? Is it mine or is it someone else's? Right? So trust your gut feeling the next week and a half. Because I feel like for some of you that loneliness or some kind of emotion might not even be yours to start with. Four of Cups, yeah, you're like, I'm not sure. I got my 3 cups here. Do I want to take it? Do I want to leave it? You're very cautious about what you put in your system as well the next week. You're like, hey, is that going to make me feel better or worse? Right? You're very calculated. You're very calculated. Even this guy, this Page of Cups, look at his facial expression, how he's looking at that cup over there. He's like, this is interesting. Some kind of discovery is happening here. Let me see with the Kipper deck. What is discovery about? What is this discovery about? It's something to do with either your health, how your body feels, or something that doesn't allow you to rest and you can't, put words to it. For some of you, this could be connected to a male figure or male energy. For others of you, this is part of work somehow. Maybe you're protecting your body and you're like, listen, I gotta allow myself to rest, right? I gotta work smarter with the advisor, not harder. So it's a very very straightforward, no BS type of week where you are waiting for your rewards to come, especially when it comes to collabs, especially when it comes to work situations. And you're not taking, you're not taking no for an answer. You're like, okay, if I get a no here, I'm going to seek for someone else to say yes. This reminds me of those success stories where people are not afraid of failing or rejection. They're like, okay, It's not personal. This person said, no, I'm going to go to someone else until they get what they want. Maybe some of you needed to hear these words, right? Not everything happens at the first try. So it's saying, let's keep going. There are many more stops I'm seeing, and I'm seeing a ship, and I'm seeing almost like a map where that ship is going to stop next. And every port has something different to offer based on that environment. And you're picking up, what those ports have to offer for yourself. In some of them you say, I have this, I have better, let's say fish, right? I have better quality fish, thank you very much. What do you have from berries, right? And it's almost like you're trading. And this trading could be a representation of skill sets, right? You're trading skill sets with one another. So quite an interesting story, pile number 1. I hope this made sense. I hope this made sense. This took me on another level of visualization. So ships are quite prominent here. Maybe an important symbol to you, ocean as well, or your family member, especially if that family member has passed away, and they were very connected to ships or sailing. I think that spirit might come through, might be much closer to you the next week and a half. Okay, so tribe, thank you for being here, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello my people, whoever has chosen pile number 2, let's see. So I'm gonna use a different deck for your main energies, and Texture Tarot we're gonna use as a main deck. Okay, what energy are you in the next week and a half? What is the most important for you? I don't remember the name of this deck that I'm using, I'm sorry. I don't keep the boxes around me here. I have them stored in case I ever need them, but some of them I throw out. We have the Two of Presents, which is Two of Pentacles. Interesting, we had the Two of Pentacles in pile number 1. This is telling me already, and I remember that, if I didn't, I don't think it would be like a big deal, right? But I'm feeling that collectively the next week and a half might be busy, but especially when it comes to, busy doing different things. It's not that you're running. It's more like you are focusing on very different things. So for example, you suddenly have an idea or an urge, I don't know, to bake cookies. And then when you finish with that, then you're like, okay, I'm gonna do some work, or I gotta go to work. After that, you do something else, like a hobby. It's a very diverse and very unique time that you're spending. And I would say this might be an encouragement for some of you, saying, let's do different things. Let's not get stuck in routine for too long. Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up for you guys. That's important. Let's take care of things that you didn't want to take care of some time ago, right? For a while, but you knew that they had to be done. The Hermit. I think, especially with this Hermit, it seems like some of you have been in that Hermit mode and you're coming out of it now. You're like, hello, the world, what has happened? It's like someone is coming out of that cave and they're like, what has happened? Been here for a while. And it seems like for some of you, you've been there for a little bit too long. And it's your cards are asking you to come out of it. It's good to be in a hermit mode, like soul search and reflection and all of that, This could be talking about people who are introverts too. It's saying that's good, but it's almost like the world is calling for you, for your light, for what you have to offer, and to kind of come and play the game, It's like you are needed. You are needed to come out of that cave. It's time. And you have the Knight of Needles. That doesn't surprise me because this is a Knight of Swords, right? and you're like, I've been in that, cave for a little bit long. Like, how does my hair look? I don't even know how I look anymore. Haven't looked at myself in the mirror for a while, right? And you're like, hello, what is going on? What's on the news? Haven't watched news for a long time. I don't think you watch news anyway here much, guys. And whoever's watching me, you probably don't really like watching TV anyway, but it's almost like you don't know what has happened in the world for some time. You're like, and I think this is a reference for some of you. It's saying you might be interested, or you might find new passion for some things that didn't interest you before. Okay, and it's not a bad thing. It's almost like you need to switch, and you will be switching the next week. You will be taking action. See the fire, 3 of Needles. You're like, okay, what is next? Let's go. With that Knight, let's go. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Here is that passion of yours. Creativity. You're very creative the next week. It's something to do with arts, crafts for some of you for the next week, week and a half. It's saying, let's stop looking at it. Let's start actually making it. Let's start creating, whatever that would be for you. Would it be your own website? It doesn't have to be like full-blown arts and crafts stuff. It's saying slow and steady wins the race. So we have thought everything through, but it doesn't seem like you need that. It's saying, let's start doing things. We can stand there for a really, really long time without creating anything and run those ideas, through our head. How am I going to do this? What is the structure? What is the color? It's saying, let's start doing, and everything will flow very naturally for you. And that's what kind of energy you are in the next week. Don't get me wrong, you're not rushing, but you're starting doing things that you haven't done before. And you are like, okay, finally, like, I'm on it. And you knew for some time that you had to. You had to pull yourself together. The strength is here. You're feeling much stronger within your body as well as your will. Your will. So I don't know what it means for all of you, but it's like, I want to breathe in and breathe out and say, let's go. And every time I say let's go, I'm hearing one more word that I'm not saying, but F it. Let's go, bitches. Literally, that's what I'm hearing, And prior to this hermit mode, the song that rang in my head, I don't know how many of you know that song. It's pretty funny. It cracks me up all the time. But it goes, later bitches. Do you know that song? It's like, so then you went to that cave and then you came back from it and you're like, okay, now let's go, bitches. I'm ready. So I don't know what is going on here, but it seems like a very quick energy switch. I don't know what you did. Maybe some kind of healing. Maybe you needed to stay with yourself for a while. Maybe you needed to research or do something that made you feel a little bit withdrawn, and then you get in your power back. The next week and a half is all about feeling that power. Page of Pentacles is here. Look at that book. It seems like it's a book of wisdom, a book of magic, a book of possibilities. And you're wanting to learn what's written there. But it's not only about learning, you are using that knowledge in your life. And you're like, okay, let me try this now. What I've learned. What I've learned about myself, what I've learned from research, trying things out before. Let me try. Let me see what happens. I'm curious now. You might come across something that interests you big time, or a new wave of motivation. And I think for some of you, there might be a dream of some sort that is connected here, that somehow impacts you. I'd say pay attention to your dreams, pile number 2, okay? 3 of Wands, especially if in that dream you were you had this feeling or a vision that is somehow connected to the future events of your life. It's saying analyze it a little bit more. Even if it wasn't your own life, it was someone else's. Dreams are very tricky sometimes, right? There's a lot going on, emotionally as well as visually. And it's saying if there was some kind of, like you saw a goal or something that was further away, or you were trying to get to something, it's saying let's analyze it, because especially if you remember that dream, it was a message. It wasn't a dream for you, okay? Trying to get somewhere, I'm hearing. Autumn, for a lot of you, overall, is a quite important period of time. It's almost like you are preparing so many things for your own future. And it's not only about the next week, week and a half. You are preparing a lot of things that you are doing right now, or you will be doing the next week, are very connected to how everything is going to pan out the next year for you, whenever you're watching this video. So it's saying right now would be a good time to start doing things, start seeking for what it is that you deserve. There's a herb or some kind of a leaf or a plant that you might work with, or you're very drawn to the next week, week and a half. Look up the meaning of it. It's somehow going to be connected to what you might need to hear. The Ace of Cups. What is that about? The Chariot. Some kind of journey that you are thinking about. Or you've planned a journey, or you're planning a journey in the next week, week and a half. Maybe spontaneously. For some of you, this is an offer. For others of you, literally like chilling and you're like, hey, I should go there. Especially like if you felt like you've been restricted for a while, I think someone is finding ways how to start moving, exploring, or how to be as successful as they wanted to be. I don't feel like this is a light bulb moment. I think it's all about the right time for you. You're feeling ready. You're feeling ready, you're really determined the next week. Yeah, because you know that you are going towards success. 6 of Wands. Let's see what that is connected to. Let's pull from Kipper deck. What success are you walking towards to? Are you traveling towards to? What is this success about? Pile 2s. Color red might be important for some of you, as well as color blue and orange. You're coming out of a difficult phase of life, that's for sure. And great happiness. Look, how contradicting is this? Past energy, stress and fear, and know how to cope with this better. It's leaving my life. And I'm walking into great happiness. It's all very internal here for you. The next week, expect yourself to feel like you're over the moon. It's very different to how you felt the past couple of weeks, okay? And change. I'm telling you, thinking about some kind of travel plans, or maybe changing locations, or just changing environment for a day. That would be really helpful for you, as well as I think healthy. 3 of Wands is here as well. You know, you're thinking about how to change places, or how to free yourself from something. And this is possible for you here. It doesn't matter how far, how close you're going. It's saying that idea will be on an urge will be given to you for a reason the next week, week and a half. You can successfully complete what you're wanting to complete. And it's almost like with this Ace of Cups, it's all also going to act as cleansing period. Movement helps you out. Being diverse helps you out. Not doing the same thing all over again helps you out. Maybe it's highly connected to how you're feeling emotionally or physically. And the next week you're like, let's go. I told you, let's go bitches, right? With the change card as well as the Chariot here. You're like, I'm ready Tell those horses to move. You're also looking good. You're feeling yourself the next week and a half. Maybe you're changing your exterior somehow too. Pay attention to how, you know what? Take a picture of yourself now and the next week and a half, towards the end of it. And look at the difference. Because something is changing big time within you, energetically, physically. Okay? This was quite interesting, pile number 2. I hope this made sense, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey tribe, whoever has chosen pile number 3. So, what we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to pull 3 cards from a different deck, but this is going to be your main deck that we're using here today. For the next week's energy. What is important? How are you feeling? Etc. Pile number 3. And I'm using the Urban Tarot for that. Let's let gravity do the work. We have the 9 of Wands. Ace of Swords. Bear with me. And 8 of Pentacles. Okay. You know what? The vibe that you are giving me here. You're like, listen, don't disturb me, yeah? I'm working on really intense stuff. I'm working on something that I really need concentration for. And you're like, when I'm in the work mode, especially the next week, guys, I feel inspired, especially when I'm doing something that I love. It could be your hobby as well for some of you. And you're very detailed. You're paying attention to details. You're working peacefully. You know that whatever it is that you're doing is going to bring you success. Maybe not tomorrow. And there is one quote that I've seen today on Instagram that, okay, let me pull it out. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. This. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And I was posted by one of my friends. And I think this is exactly what's the vibe for you. You know that if you're gonna work on something that you love peacefully, I want to say quietly, it's almost like you're in this preparation stage, and you're like, I know that one day this is gonna be bringing big fruits of labor. That's what kind of mode you are in. It could be somehow connected to travels for some of you, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, let's look. Right, we have the Knight of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, bottom of a deck, Queen of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups. We have 3 of Cups. You have 5 of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like I want one more card clarifying the 5 of Pentacles. Give me a moment. Let me pull you down a little bit. Here we go. Haha, I see ya. So, the next week and a half, you're being very selective who you let in your energy. You are focusing on the people, and I think you might have a couple of gatherings, or would it be online, would it be in real life, right? That you are having with people that you love. And it seemed like someone is talking about an event of some sorts, especially connected to another person where they didn't feel either inspired by them, either they didn't get enough of attention, or at least what they deserved, what they invested in that person or situation. And you're very selective. You're like, listen, if I have those pentacles, look at this. If I have those pentacles and they don't make me warm, what is the point of it? Switch that pentacle to something in your head, because this is quite metaphorical. It's saying, I'm not keeping things in my life that are not making me warm. You are taking notes, maybe some of you are writing a diary or something. And it's all about fairness the next week and a half. You're like, I don't know why you're going through this. Maybe some of you have been going through a difficult period of time lately, or there is a pattern of some sorts where you don't get enough from your investments, but it's very connected to people, emotions, and energy that you invest in. You're like, I know that the people that I surround myself with and the energy that they bring in, they are affecting me big time. It also reminds me of that saying, show me your friends, I'm going to tell you your future. This is quite important. I see people hanging around other people who just sucking out their energy. And it's not about good and bad guy. It's who you choose to be around, right? Some people just don't have maybe as much inspiration within themselves and they cannot give it to you. So it's your choice. You don't have to cut those people out of your life. But you can choose to spend a little bit less time with those and a little bit more time with those who do inspire you, who celebrate your wins. And that's what you're doing the next week. You're like, I love spending the time with this particular person. So you probably are reaching out to someone, or someone's reaching out to you, and you're going to have a really, really good time with one another. And I think you're opening up to one another, especially one of you who tends to be a little bit closed off. Someone is trying to lighten up. Someone is trying to open their heart a little bit more because they know that this is not healthy for them. It's not good holding in all that emotion or whatever is being repressed. And they're like, listen, that's what people are for, right? The people that I love. I gotta open up. I gotta talk about my ups and downs a little bit more often. And it's almost like it opens up a completely new portal for you. And opportunities. And sometimes people, especially in this spiritual community, say, oh, this person is so 3D, I can't hang around them. What does 3D mean? We're all living in 3D. It's not about that. It's about, hey, you can have a very diverse group of people. Some of them are spiritual, some of them are not as spiritual, but they also bring in some kind of value to you. Maybe they ground you because of their simple way at looking at life. Some of the people are actually spiritual, but they just don't label themselves that way, right? And that's what kind of communication is happening here. Especially 3 people I'm seeing, including you, one of them. So 2 more people in your surroundings that you want to talk to. There's also an apology possibly coming through from someone here, because I'm seeing a message being sent about what it is that I want to share with you, or what it is that I want to apologize for about. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords. The clouds are opening up. I don't know why I'm hearing this. Even your plans could be your friends. You're not letting anyone or anything control your mind the next week and a half. You're like, I am my master of my mind, and I'm gonna use it in order for me to achieve great things instead of using it against me and what kind of thoughts run through my head. You might want to watch one more pile. that's something that is meant for you. You probably have felt that before. Again, look at this Eight of Pentacles. It's a very productive week for you, I must say, but a very calm. So, you know, sometimes when you're working, you're quite like chaotic. The next week and a half, you're like, I'm working on this peacefully. I'm enjoying this. I'm feeling the vibe of my surroundings. So maybe you have a really nice setup. I'm seeing someone playing music. I see a couple of candles. I'm seeing them in a zone, completely chilled. And time passes so fast. And it feels like that person is not tired at all. It didn't feel like work. Maybe that's something that you're trying to do the next week and a half. Approaching it from a little bit more lighthearted space, you know? That work doesn't always have to feel like hard work. It can also be very inviting and warm. If I make it to be, right? Look. And that's when I'm reaping those rewards. Financially, it's a really good week the next week, okay? If you're trying to improve something, if you're trying to, you know, find maybe a new job or in your current job, it's a really, really good week. Especially a very peaceful week. And I'm seeing also people making decisions what they want to do with their pentacles, with their finances. And I'm hearing someone asking themselves, am I rewarding myself or am I just paying bills? And that reward doesn't have to be expensive, right? If you don't have enough. Little things like allowing yourself to go there, allowing yourself to get this or that, or maybe the food that you really love, and cooking an amazing meal for yourself. You know, I want to talk about this, about the meal especially. It might be important for some of you. Pay attention the next week and a half with what kind of energy you are cooking. Because the energy, if you are cooking chaotically and you're like, oh, I just want to get this over and done with, and you're thinking about all the problems, you might, unknowingly put that energy in your food. Especially I'm seeing someone making a soup. But if you play some music and you literally like vibing, you don't have to intentionally say, oh, okay, the soup is going to make me feel this way if you don't want to, right? It's just the energy. What kind of vibe is in the kitchen, it's saying? What kind of vibe is in your work environment? And I'm not saying about other people who might create chaos and you're like, okay, this is that person who's creating chaos. If you are peaceful within yourself, nothing can impact you. It's mastery, right? But it seems like that's what you're trying to achieve. For a really peaceful work. And a very rewarding one. So whatever you are good at the next week and a half, especially if you're feeling really drawn to it, even a hobby of some sorts, it's saying do it. You're going to be really, really good at it. You'll find rewards in it. It's a really good week financially, guys. Pile number 3, okay? Work is blooming. So if you don't have a job and you're seeking for one, the next week might bring you great news. But obviously make sure that you're taking all steps necessary in order to get that job. We're not doing this, right? We're not doing this. This is not helping us. We're doing this. And that. Okay. What's improving or what's important to focus on the next week and a half? We have a connection to a woman, a female, someone who has a youthful vibe about them regardless of their age. She might be important. We have prison and restriction. It's like you're breaking free from feeling restricted. You're finding ways how to go about it in order not to feel that way. You have a key and a lock. You're the one who's unlocking that gate. And stress and fear, yeah. So as we're talking what's improving here for you, It seems like you are, especially if you felt the past, I'd say 3 weeks or so, or a week or so, if you felt like, oh my God, I feel like I'm not moving much, or I feel like I'm just feeling really low, or I'm feeling, anxiety and there's a lot of stress. I don't see that anymore the next week and a half for you. You have really, really peaceful cards coming out here. And I think for some of you also deciding to do something new or to change something about your routine. It can be as simple as cooking a new, trying a new recipe. Could be as big as challenging yourself, doing things that make you feel fearful, right? And I'm telling you, whenever I do that myself, whenever I put myself in situations where I'm like, okay, I have this fear, I'm gonna go at it. I'm gonna do everything that I'm afraid of. I have the best outcomes. Some people call me crazy sometimes. I'm like, okay. They're like, are you not scared? I'm like, yeah, I'm terrified. I'm doing it anyway. Right? So maybe that's something that you are testing yourself in. Like, I'm seeing testing waters. Is it actually as bad as I imagined it to be? Was it actually as terrifying? Can I calm my mind whilst doing something that I'm afraid of? It's one of those things here. And it seems like by you, it's not about overcoming it. It's some fears are difficult to overcome for good. It's about being better at doing things that you're feeling afraid at doing, right? You can't just do it like this and it's gone. It does take a minute for us to get comfortable with certain fears. But it seems like you're very capable the next week and a half of doing so. And you're finding peace in something that used to make you feel crazy or stressed out. So I hope this made sense. And I think, this is going to make sense more so to you once you're in it the next week and a half. Right now, some of you might be thinking, what the fuck is she talking about, right? And it's okay. It's okay. I think you're going to understand more of what I mean here a little bit further in the future. But thank you, Tribe, for being here. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey Tribe, whoever has chosen pile number 4, we're going to start using a different deck here. And this is going to be your main one. So let's take a look at your energy the next week and a half. What's most important? What is going on? How are you feeling? Pile 4. Nice. 9 of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. No, I think this is a Knight of Swords. I'm not sure, but I always read this card by what it's trying to represent, by its imagery. It's obviously connected to your throat chakra. It seems like you want to come out of shadows the next week and a half. Possibly you want to talk about things that you are not as brave talking about in the past. What bothers you? What makes you feel a certain way that you don't necessarily like? You're like, I've dropped my mask, I think for some of you are ready to show yourselves to the world in one way or another. You're feeling quite independent. I think some of you might be thinking about your own business or something that you're doing on a side or you want to start doing. And you're like, I think it's time. I think it's time for me to overcome what it is that I have created for myself as almost like I'm seeing a little wall. It's not too high. And I thought that I cannot climb over it, but it's actually just below my knees. So what is it that I'm afraid of? Maybe talking about your fear of some sorts with someone, and it helps you immensely. Maybe you're deciding to finally chase after your freedom and your financial independence, and the next week is really, really good for that. Those who have their own businesses, the next week is important to speak loudly, clearly, okay? Let's see. So we're starting with the King of Cups. We have 9 of Pentacles twice here, so this is being highlighted. The next week and a half, you focused on your freedom, especially your financial freedom, and what it is that you want to create for yourself. What is your goal? And you're feeling quite empowered here with the Emperor following the star. You're feeling quite empowered. You're like, I know I have this skill and trait. What is it? 5 of Cups here twice. What is it that I'm fooling myself with? Was I seeing it worse than it actually is, and I didn't turn around to see that flower because I kept looking at all those spilled cups? I'm seeing some kind of sorrow is fading away, or some kind of emotion that was impacting you or maybe holding you back, or lack of speaking up. It's fading away, but you're doing something about it in order for it to fade away. 10 of Pentacles is here too. I'm seeing very strong family connections here. Bottom of the deck, we have I believe this is the Queen, Queen of Pentacles. So the next week we can have it's really good when it comes to making financial decisions, money moves, okay? Money moves. And it's saying, I also see with the 2 of Cups here, it feels like it belongs next to the 10 of Pentacles. You are connecting to one of your soul family members. Now, this could be an actual family member. It could be someone who feels like a family member, a tribe member of yours. And it feels like this Queen of Pentacles is a representation of them. It's like you want to get to know someone because you know how much they can offer. Would it be wisdom? Would it be allowing you or helping you how to break free or how to improve your business? You have a very strong person that you're coming across or you're connecting with the next week and a half. Maybe a couple of people. And whoever this is, I think they're very good at business as well as they are intuitive. Would they recognize that or not? And I'm seeing now, this could be you talking to someone else, right? This could always be vice versa. But there is like a power dynamics where one of the people is learning how to be independent and the other one is like, I've been there, I've done it already. Maybe you're coming across a video on YouTube, right? Someone who's talking about their own business and they're like, listen, I had to go through this and that. Or they're giving you very valuable advice. Or you get in a book. But for a lot of you, since I'm looking at these birds over here and the peacock, look up a spiritual meaning of a peacock. It's like you know that the next week is about breaking free. And it's about building that beautiful garden for yourself, your environment, where you're at. You want to cherish that environment. You're very thankful for the land that you are on or you're planning to be on. There is that strong connection of a land and you. Something is being uncovered here. Some kind of emotion or physical feeling that you couldn't make sense of before. And it's going to be revealed to you the next week and a half. Overall, you're sitting on your throne. You're fully in your power. You're meeting people whoever you need to meet and cross paths with, and exchange the energy or take something from them that you didn't know about before. It's a strong financial week too. So especially if you feel like you are not maybe fully ready, it's saying the next week is about taking those steps necessary in order for you to get to where you want to be. in order to improve your finances. Seek for help, seek for advice if you need that, because one particular person has the answers that you need, and they have gone through similar things, it's saying here. Let's play the deck. The Empress is here. I told you sitting on your throne. You're like, oop, now got that star for myself. Thank you very much. It's something to do with a beautiful environment here. I don't know where you're going, or I don't know what you're doing with your living environment, but it seems like it's improving. It's crisp, it's clean. Maybe you want to do a deep cleaning, or you want to reorganize things in your surroundings. But it seems like with a clean, crisp, clear space, your mind is much clearer too. So don't be surprised if the next week you're like, ooh, I really want to change things around in my environment. I'm sensing the smells and scents. So, and I'm literally seeing someone damping a cloth with water, as well as some laundry softener. And it's especially the smell that you really like, and going over the couch with that damp cloth and smelling that scent, and every time you sit on it you're like, oh, it smells so good, loving it. And it's like your mind is very connected to your environment, and your environment has a very clear and very strong impact on how you act and what you do. So maybe for some of you here, what's important is to pay attention to where you are and how everything pans out for you to be. So let's say where you used to live, how did you feel? How was your life? When you moved, how do you feel? How is your life? Right? Or when you change things around in your environment, what changes then? It's almost saying like track it for yourself. So these might be the things that you might be experiencing or noting down the next week and a half. Some of you might have done it already. What's improving or what needs to be focused on? Pile number 4. We have little child. Some of you, it might be your own child or your inner child. We have partnerships. Yeah, we talked about that. Oh, geez. Wait, one second. We have stress and fear. And we have young man. Okay, let's clarify this. And I want to switch decks. So I want to use the Triple Goddess Tarot for clarifications. Let's clarify partnership card here, please. We have 8 of Cups. I want one more. It seems like you're walking towards better partnerships and death. What was no more? Improvements in partnerships. It could be romantic, it could be platonic, could be work partnerships. You're like changing things around here. Let's clarify the little child. We have the Emperor. I think whoever has children, you might be lacking patience the next week and a half. Just heads up. Or someone is really demanding, either on their own child or their inner child. You gotta do better. You gotta stop doing this, right? So it's saying pay attention to how you treat yourself, how you talk to your own inner child as well as your own children, right? But it feels like it's more so to do with your own inner child. Do you allow your inner child to play enough, right? You're very focused, and this is saying it's great, but let those kids play. You see that? As I'm speaking. And 6 of Wands is all about success. And when you have a really good balance between play and work, that's when success is coming much easier. And I think maybe that's something that you're doing the next week. Or some of you just need to hear this advice right now. Take what's meant for you and leave the rest for others. So we have stress and fear clarified by the Knight of Cups. Someone is soothing your system. I don't know what that means for all of you, but someone is soothing your system. Sister, what the fuck was that about? Listen, give me a break, guys. Sometimes, like, I talk for like 2 hours straight, and when I finish, I'm like, oh, I don't know how people can do readings every day. I mean, I'm talking YouTube as well as personals, and like put out videos every day on YouTube. I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't have this in me. Maybe one day I will. I don't think that would be a good balance for me, anyways. Here, what I'm sensing, it seems like since stress and fear comes up to number 5, something is changing within you. Either someone is offering you something to make you feel better, or you are doing that for yourself. You're like, okay, let me give myself a bit more self-love. Why are we stressing, right now? What does my body need? Right? Is it as bad as I make it to be? Okay, let's clarify the young man here. Let's clarify the young man. We have 7 of Swords. Some kind of childlike energy is around you the next week and a half. We have Ace of Wands. And you have the Knight of Pentacles, especially in this deck, this Knight of Pentacles. I'm looking at where she's at, her surroundings. She's holding on to that pentacle. She's probably freezing, right? But she's like, I'm holding on to it. If she did let go of that pentacle in the midst of winter, it's probably going to be a little bit better and a bit more comfortable for her to move forward. So I want to say with this young energy here, regardless of the sex, you might feel that something is offered to you with the Ace of Wands here that doesn't feel like it's the best fit for you. Or a suggestion, or someone says something, especially a young energy. And it's not about years, right? A young energy, and you're like, oh, I don't know about that. Do I really need that? Especially those who are about to buy something. It's saying if you are going to be pushed into buying something, think about it. You probably don't need it. Okay, so I hope this made sense, pile number 4. It was an interesting reading. I hope it was helpful, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye for now.